last we spoke was right after you got drafted. I mean, we've spoken maybe around a quarter hotel, but not sitting down talking. You were such a young player being drafted, youngest player ever to be drafted by the Nets at the time.
Right.
Until I think Derek came
right after.
one pick later.
Yeah.
So how do you think you've grown as a person? I know you're a pretty introspective guy. How do you think you've grown as a person over the last year?
A lot of different ways. Matured, just as anyone my age would. But I think specifically my patience has grown a lot. I think I've become a lot more patient. And it's got a long way to go. Being patient is probably one of the hardest things to do in life, to me at least. And so I'm trying to get better at that,
Most people don't move to New York and become more patient.
Yeah.
they become a little less patient.
Lancy, yeah.
Are you speaking then in terms of kind of getting your opportunities? Because I think you probably got more NBA opportunities last year than I think people anticipated coming into the season.
Probably so, just because, I didn't have a great summer league. Most people didn't expect much from me. And, I think in these walls here we have here in this gym, everybody sees me play. So they know what I'm working towards. They know how I'm getting better. They know how I'm improving each and every day, whereas the outside world only sees what I've shown them. And that was that summer league. So, yeah, but, being patient in life in general, not outside of basketball as well, has been important to me.
Yeah, yeah. You look like you've gotten a little bigger, right? I mean, everybody talked about that last year. Well, Noah's, maybe get him get him. I don't know if it's the weight room, food. What was your regimen like over the summer to kind of? Was it trying to put on bulk, strength, combination of both?
Get stronger.
Yeah.
My main goal is getting stronger. About looking bigger, etc. It doesn't matter to me. Just getting stronger, internally stronger. Like things like core strength. Don't nobody see how strong your core is, but it's important for balance and a lot of other things.
Do you feel when you put on have you put on weight
for sure
last year? So does it feel good?
Yeah, I feel
used to it.
I feel like I still can move. Like I don't feel like I'm out here just getting big and bulky and slow. Or I still feel good.
I think everybody was thrilled when they saw you get your opportunity in the NBA last year. I mean, you were playing really well in the G League, but when you were given the opportunities, you made the most of them. How did you feel your first season at the NBA level was? Was it what you expected, easier than you expected? Kind of give me your thoughts on that.
It's hard to say because it's like, different situations. I got a young guy. I've seen him play in the G. The other players, they didn't, probably respect me much. So it's like I'm getting a lot of open shots because people don't respect my shot. So it's like, will that continue? Maybe a little bit, but if I'm consistent in my shot, obviously they're not just going to keep letting me shoot the ball.
Sure.
So it's going to be more decision making to be made. I think it'll have ups and downs. How I look at it. It'll get harder at points. It'll get easier at points because I think along with other people changing how they play me or play the team in general, I'm going to develop my own game as well. And so that's why I say up and down.
So when you're looking to work on developing your game further, what is the next frontier for you? What are the things you want to start to do better?
I got to be able to put the ball on the floor better. I think I've gotten a lot better, making decisions in the pocket, making the right passes. I want to be able to make those same passes after putting the ball on the ground or, just being able to create from my own, not necessarily shooting crazy step backs or nothing like that, but, getting to the cup, strong finishes versus fading away, things like that.
The shot, right? Like I know last year when we spoke coming out of college, you said, well, my percentage wasn't great, but I had a bad stretch of games there and it kind of took it down. You look comfortable shooting on the perimeter, right? Like is the 3-point shot something that you anticipate, being a stretch guy? Can you do that? Or is that kind of a last resort kind of thing?
Yeah, I wanna improve my shot to the point where teams are like run him off the line. When you get to that point, it opens up everything.
Yeah.
So that's my goal.
So they want to make them go out and have to guard you out there, right?
Yeah.
Defensively, I think is where you really opened a lot of eyes. I think people knew you were a good defender, but your ability to guard multiple positions, I would imagine, is is going to be something that will help you in your NBA career? Is that something you can work on? How do you feel you've done with that?
Yeah, we do work on defense, like individual defense at that, one on one. And it's something I got to be great at, elite at that. I want to be
Yeah.
elite at that, and I feel like if you can guard multiple positions, you're elite at guarding, and you can shoot the ball at a high level. It's always a spot on you on some team. It's on the floor somewhere, and so it's like those are like more personal goals. Obviously, I'm here in Brooklyn. I want to be in Brooklyn. I'm not insinuating any. I mean, none of that. None of that. But obviously, long term, I got to think about me, and I got to be able to play in any type of way, any system,
Yeah.
anything.
There are the Nick Claxton comparisons all the time. When you
Hmm.
came in, you're both from South Carolina originally, and you went to Georgia, but um, you, Jordy Fernandez just kind of put that out there, right? Of like Nick Claxton's a guy gets drafted 31st pick in the draft, ends up becoming $100 million player,
Hmm.
and it was a project at the time when he came in.
Right.
See a guy you look at and say, hey, with this developmental approach and this kind of skill set, that can happen to me as well.
For sure. I look at how quickly I improve in certain areas and things like that, and I'm like, if I can, no, obviously I'm not gonna be able to get everything as quick as I can catch on to some things. I happen to be able to catch on to things as far as the mental side of basketball pretty quickly, and so that's helped me a lot. But there are some things that I still haven't got and I don't have at the moment, and I feel like with the development we do have here, um, yeah, soon when this contract's up, I think I will be looking towards a bigger one.
And I guess obviously what you're alluding to is the fact that if the organization makes a commitment to Nick Claxton, do you feel that he's a guy that you're competing with for minutes, or do you feel like you can play next to Nick, you can find a role so that it's not just, he's not sort of putting a ceiling on you here?
For sure, I think we can play together. I think we had good stretches when we did play together.
Yeah.
So yeah, him getting this big contract and knowing he's gonna get minutes, it doesn't concern me. No.
It's a lot of length when you were out there with
Yeah,
Nick
it's the goal.
and shot blocking ability. You have a great knack for being able to block shots with either hand,
Yeah.
shadow drivers and things like that. That's some of the most impressive stuff for me. A lot of guys come over and make a weak side block, but
Right.
your ability to kind of block guys on the drive, it blew me away last year. Is that something that you've sort of had in you, developed? Can you explain that at all?
When you say on the drive, you mean like as me guarding them as primary defender?
Yeah.
So yeah. In high school a lot, I would if I switched. My feet weren't as quick. I get beat a lot, and so when I get beat, it was just kind of like, all right, I'm finna let you get this layup off, and I'm gonna go meet it on the glass. Obviously at the NBA level, it's not nearly that. If you let them beat you, they're putting it at the top of the glass, and you're not touching that ball. They're getting 2 points every time. So I've kind of found my medium of, you know, how I can use my length to disrupt people. If I can make somebody drive baseline, and if they want to pass out, they got to throw it up over my length. I know we're gonna have time to rotate or do whatever we
Mm.
have to do on the backside, things like that. Just not giving guys any easy look. And everybody makes mistakes, but I think that's something I've been really good at is recovering from mistakes, and so I think that'll be big for me too.
Erasing, right?
Yeah.
Shot blockers can erase a lot of mistakes, even with the guys in front of you, the
All right.
guards, right? They have now freedom to make some mistakes or may take some chances, I guess, when they know you've got you back there.
Yeah.
Uh, let's talk about you. Like your summer. I saw you at a Met game.
Yeah.
Looked like you were having a good time. You were mic'd up for the Nets social media department.
Yeah.
Were you always a baseball fan? Is that something you just picked
Um.
up?
So that's my first ever like professional baseball game.
Oh,
But
okay.
I played baseball a lot when I was younger, so I was, I've always been into baseball. I took a break back when I watched it. I watched the Yankees when I was real young. Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter type time. But now it's like, no, I still watch it. I like Aaron Judge for the Yankees, but my first game obviously was the Mets game. So
Hmm.
Got me a
What was it? You and Was it Jalen Martin? We went.
no,
No.
Keon,
Oh,
me and Keon,
Keon.
yeah.
Yeah. And you guys had good seats.
Yeah, right behind the catcher. Like, it was great seats.
And you see a walk off or something? You hit a big home run at some point. I
Oh
remember you jumped
yeah,
out
it
of
was
your
a
seat.
few of them. It was a few of them. Yeah, they got busy. I can't remember all the names. I think Francisco hit one. If I'm saying his
Lindor.
name correctly.
Yeah, Lindor. I
Pete,
figured it.
Pete
Oh, Pete
something.
Alonso.
Pete something. Yeah,
Yeah, the polar bear.
yeah. Cause Key, I remember that. Key was talking about some. His name Pete or something like that, and he was like, "My bad, Pete." Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
What is it like? I mean, your peers. You're going there, and they're, it's New York, and it's a baseball team, but you're a professional athlete playing in the same city. Is there that camaraderie with guys? Do you get to know other guys in other sports?
So I don't really like. I feel like I'm a fan of the game,
Mm.
and that's in a lot of sports. So I never like go into situations like I feel like yeah, you should talk to me, or I have a higher chance of talking to you than anybody else in here just because I have a title, a profession tied to my name. I truly don't even. If I see a professional athlete in public, I'd more than likely leave them alone because I know a lot of times when I'm in public, I don't mind talking to people, especially kids, things like that. But it's
Yeah.
like all the time, people don't want to be bothered all the time with their profession.
But you do have you do share something that a lot of people can't relate to.
100%.
So obviously there's stuff you could talk shop in that regard.
Yeah, I haven't had much conversation with professional athletes of other sports
But
though.
give it some time.
Yeah,
You're young.
I think it'll happen.
Uh, Living in this area, New York. I mean, I know it's a different vibe than where you're from in South Carolina.
Very much so.
Did you, going out to City Field? I'm sure you did some other things around the city. Have you gotten accustomed to being around here?
It's different. Sometimes I just go out and walk. We can't do that back home. I mean, you can, but you're gonna be walking for a long time before you see something. Since I just go out and walk, I've been to Fifth. I walk around Fifth sometimes.
Anybody recognize you? Do people stop you on the street?
It's rare. It's rare. I think it'll be more common when people start to see me. But sometimes people just be like, "Yo, what's up, Noah?" Like they'll shout it. One person shouted it from across the street. I'm like, what's up? How you doing?
New Yorkers are not that way. Like they,
Yeah, they don't really bother you.
They're not starstruck.
Yeah,
They just give you they don't know who you are. Just give you
Yeah.
hey, yo, what's up?
yeah. They see this every day. It's nothing. Yeah.
That's that's one thing that you do, get used to. Like I admire about New Yorkers. They got a battle for everything, but certainly that's a way about it. So, going into this season, what are some of the? I know Jordy Fernandez has said this, that there's really no hierarchy on this team that's set in stone going forward. Everybody's gonna get what they earn
All right.
right now. Is that an exciting opportunity for you?
Yeah. 100%. I feel like that's how it should be on any given roster, though. You earn what you get what you earn, and we got a lot of guys that are hungry and want to earn something. So, see how it goes.
Well, Noah Clowney, really enjoyed watching you play last year. I think it was one of the things for a season that wasn't going in a great direction late in the year, coming to the arena and seeing what you had in store for us that night was it made it fun to come to the games, and I'm thinking that way now going forward. One of the things I'm looking forward to this year, I don't know how many games you guys are going to win this year, but I know one of the things that'll keep me excited going to the game is seeing you and your development. So we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate you.